Oh, it's very dark. So I wasn't going to film, but because it's going to be quite dark until I get up to the top of the hill. I don't know if you can hear the music behind me. There's a concert going on, and it's every year. Anyway, it's tonight. So anyway, I'm filming because I'm going to try and attempt to talk, but it's a steep hill. But I'm definitely not filming for the view, more for what I was thinking of saying. So we'll give it a go. I have to turn the camera away from me. Anyhow, first off, there's the music concert. And that got me thinking a little bit because, you know, it's so loud, everybody can hear it. So, obviously, like, you find yourself singing the songs in your head. If you know the words to them, which some of the ones earlier, they were just like stuff which you couldn't help but know the words to because it's everywhere. And this time last year, I think it was Tinchy Strider that was singing. So I was just thinking about the energy that gets like developed at these things, and how that's more probably what they're about than the new. Well, we know all this, but anyway, I was just thinking about that. But what I was wanting to talk about, how strange, somebody's coat's just dumped on the side. Yeah, so what I was thinking of talking about was more to do with everything that I'm going through at the moment, with leaving work and stuff. It's a really difficult time. It's really stressful because clearly I really do love the horses, and there's so much about the job that, I love it, you know. I love riding. I love so much about the job. I've done it for years. It would be so easy to stay. It really would be so easy to stay. The problem is, oh God, I can't breathe. It's really close tonight. Oh, hang on, there's a light here. I'll make the most of it. Oh gosh, I'm really out of breath. Yeah, the problem is that I can't afford to work on the wages which I'm on, and not forever. So that's a factor, but that isn't the only factor. A few years ago I injured my knee at work, and ever since then I am actually in agony all the time whilst I'm working. So that's another factor. Not only that, but my bosses, you know, they're not going to be doing it forever. Like the man I work for, he's in his 70s, and his wife's around the same age as my mum. So even if I did carry on working there, sooner or later they're going to retire, surely. They can't do it forever. And even if that's like another 10 years from now, what would I be by then? I'd be, well, I'm knocking on for 40 now, so in another 10 years or so I'd be knocking on for 50, and then imagine changing my life. That would be so hard. It's hard enough now. It's heartbreaking enough now. Oh God, you know, it kills me. It really does. It really does, it kills me. But I feel like if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. And also, another thing that bothers me a lot is financially. If anything goes wrong, I'm always having to rely on my mum to bail me out, because I don't really have the finances to put money to one side. And so that bothers me. So there's loads of reasons behind me leaving, and even though finances get mentioned, that is not the only reason. I've worked for my boss for years, and something happened like the other day where I haven't told anyone at work that I'm leaving. Nobody knew. I didn't really want to leave because my course is only 3 days a week, so I was really hoping that I'd be able to stay and work the other 3 days. So that was what I wanted to do, although she didn't want me to do that. It was all or nothing, really, was the impression that I got when I tried to organise to work, part-time. Anyway, I hadn't told a soul that I was leaving, and that was because I thought, well, leave it a few weeks and then go back and have another word with my boss and see if she's had to think about things and reconsidered. So that's what I was going to do, and I was going to do that over this weekend, because I can't really keep putting it off, because if I'm leaving properly, I'm going to have to do that in the next week or 2 weeks at the very most. That's pushing it, really, because the course starts second week in September. Anyway, the long and short of it all is that we'd finished a bit earlier than usual yesterday, and I was mucking out my horse that I look after, and chatting to one of the lads was chatting to me, and the boss walks down the corridor and she says, stop talking, stop whinging about how badly done to you are, how badly paid you are. What else did she say? Words to this, I can't think now. And she's saying this as she's walking past. So I was obviously shocked. And we weren't even talking about work. So I said, we're not even talking about here. Talking, about nothing to do with work. And she said, I know all about you trying to get everybody to strike, and don't try telling me it's not true. I've been told everything. So she says this as she's walking past. So by the time she's finished saying this, she's right at the end of the corridor, nearly back in her house. There's nothing really much you could say. I mean, how do you respond to that? And the long and short of all this is, what she's talking about is when we were riding a couple of weeks ago, one of the lads had started going on about, was never serious, but he was saying words to the effect of, he was talking about the wages, and he was saying, I wonder if everybody was to refuse to work, I wonder what they'd do. And so that's where all that's come from. I turned around and I said, this is the kind of conversation that you shouldn't even be having in jest, because somebody talking about a specific person that was there, I said, somebody will think this is serious and they'll go running back to the boss and say stuff, and it'll all get taken seriously. So this isn't a conversation that you should even be joking about. Well, anyway, that's where it's all come from. And I'm really fuming, because at the end of the day, the person who has taken it out of context and gone back and told the boss, basically, from the way I'm looking at it, has wrecked any chance I had of going and having a chat and hoping that they'd let me carry on working there. Because I thought to myself, part of the reason why she won't let me carry on working there part-time, it's not because that isn't possible, it's because she would be worried in case I was stirring things up with the other people that work there. Me going off to college and doing a degree and stuff, it's making it's got the potential to plant seeds into people's minds that the job isn't good enough. And it isn't about that at all for me, It's about my age. Everyone I work with is in their late teens, early 20s. It's about my age and the fact I can't do this forever. So I'm just really, really not very happy. I haven't really been thinking about leaving properly, because I'd kind of convinced myself that I wouldn't have to, that I'd be able to stay working there part-time. just going to check this is still filming. Yeah, that would have been terrible if I said all that for no reason. So, yeah, I'd kind of convinced myself that I wouldn't have to leave and she'd reconsider. So I haven't really dealt with everything in my mind about having to leave. That was a car. Where's Ben? Ben! Oh, sorry, he's behind me. So now I'm like really angry actually, because I'm thinking, well, she doesn't know me at all, because if she did know me, then she'd know that I wouldn't do that. And that bothers me, you know, that I can work somewhere for so long, for so many years, and be loyal, and yet she'd think that I'd turn sour because I'm leaving, which is clearly what I think she does think. And I think she thinks that because she said no to me about working part-time, I think that she thinks that I've gone around trying to stir stuff up, basically. And oh God, it couldn't be further from the truth. Like I said, I hadn't told a soul that I was leaving even. So anyway, that's been like the last couple of days here in my life. Car coming. I'm being watched. Yes, hello. Just turn it around and film her, shouldn't I? So I've lost my train of thought completely, because I think there's might be people coming. Oh, I can hear laughter. Oh, we'll have to move away from the light. I can carry on talking. Come on then. May as well move it away from me. I'll try and switch it off. It's maybe a good thing to start walking again anyway, because it's going to be so dark up here now. I kind of forgot that I'm walking up the place. I'm not so keen on being up here when it's so dark. It won't be as dark once we get through the trees, I don't think. So yeah, now I'm gonna, well, there's two things going on in my head. One of them is my head, obviously. I mean, in me at the moment. My head is saying to make a clean break is maybe a really good thing. Like, it means I can just focus on studying, find a part-time job somewhere that isn't so physically tiring and mentally tiring. So it's just a clean break, walk away, end of. Then my heart says, well, my heart is like, I can't even go there. Seriously, I mean, I'm walking into trees and stuff. My heart says, oh, my heart doesn't know what to say. My heart says I want to stay there part-time. My heart says, what if you don't like the course? What if it's not going to work? If you stay there part-time, then if it wasn't working at college, you can just go back to work, and you would have tried and failed and just go back to normal life, as my life is at the moment. And at least I would have tried. So that's kind of where I'm at, really. Except, obviously, there's been a huge part of me that's been thinking, well, just leave it in the hands of God. I was going to say of the gods, but that sounds terrible. Just leave it in the hands of God, you know. It could be that you have to leave fully, and you're not going to make that happen, Nina. So just let fate make it happen and decide how things are going to be for your best interests, which, like I said, my head says my best interests would mean a clean break. It's my heart, which, look at the sky. It's my heart which says, no, you can't leave your horse. Even though she's not your horse. Even though she belongs to somebody else completely. You can't leave your horse. What's she going to do about you? What are you going to do about her? Oh, Jesus Christ, it's terrible. It's terrible. Don't ever fall in love with other people's animals. It's never going to end well, is it? So anyway, what to do from here is the question in my mind. And what I think I'm going to do, well, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to write a letter. This weekend, tomorrow, I would have done it yesterday if I had had the energy, but I was just absolutely exhausted. I didn't get home till about 9:30, and I was asleep practically the same second that I sat down. So, yeah, what I'm going to do is write a letter. And I'm going to say to my boss how upset I am, that she would think that I would, all the stuff that I've just been saying before. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna give it to her. I am. I'm disgusted, actually. I'm disgusted that she would think that that I'd do something like that. So, and I'm sad, really sad, because it doesn't matter how hard you try to leave things on a really good note. Well, I didn't want to leave things at all, did I? Doesn't matter how hard you try, though, to be right and to not cause trouble. People think the worst anyway. It's like, oh, it bothers me. It really bothers me. Anyway, I feel like I should shut up now, really, because I've probably oh god, I'm trying to walk up some rocks, and it's not so easy because it's so dark. Right, we'll see what the light's like at the top of here. It looks really hazy. I can't believe what I've done, actually. There's the music concert going on down there, and I've walked to the darkest place in the whole of my town, which is where those rocks are above my house. But that's only because I left it too late to go anywhere else, unless I drove. But look, it's so dark. You can't even really see where it is. And it's windy up here. So anyway, listen, what I'm going to do is switch this off now, because I've definitely said more than enough, and there's enough light for me to have a play with Ben, so we'll do that. If you've made it through my rant, whatever, I don't know, what would you call it? Rant, cross problems, cross life, then thanks for listening. Oh, the other thing I was thinking though as well is I think what I'm going to do is, because obviously I normally spent time filming the horses and stuff, well I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. I don't really have Ben here very often. So what I'm going to do when I start this college course, what I'm going to start doing is I'll probably film video diaries and stuff, because what I'm going through, changing my life now, loads of people do. And you never know, just maybe me talking about doing it might inspire somebody else to make changes in their life. And actually, ironically, the very thing that my boss is worried about, well, she hasn't said it out loud, but I think she's worried about me stirring other people up at work. Well, that was never my intention at all. They're in totally different places in their lives to me. They're young, they're kids, they can do what they're doing now. But anyway, the point of me, if I do make these video diaries, it would be for people like me, people that are old, who want to change their life, and who have got fears about doing so, because to do so is so major. But of course it has fears, it's got fears attached. Scary. So yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. And also it'll be interesting for me to look back and see myself, see how I change over time, and whatnot. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And so yeah, I guess this would kind of be the very first one of those. All right then, well, thank you for listening. And me and Little Legs are going to carry on this walk, which actually, although it looks pitch black for you guys, it isn't. It's dusk. It's dark, but it's not that dark. All right then, thank you for watching, or should I say listening, because there's not much to see. And yeah, please comment. I'm really interested to hear people's thoughts on this. All right then, take care. Bye bye.